Hello, my name is Greg Sherman and I am the teacher for this course, EDUC 603, Assessment of Student Learning. And I'm here right now coming to you from my kitchen because I want to communicate to you in this introduction the importance of this particular class in your journey to either become a competent professional educator or to improve your own existing professional practice. And I have a good analogy that relates to being in the kitchen that I will get to in a moment. But I just want to again say welcome. I am the person who will be designing and facilitating this online class, and I have a lot of contact information on the website that you can is designed to help you get a hold of me if you ever need any kind of support throughout the coming semester. But I wanted to communicate to you first of all that this class is designed to help you be either trained to be an educator or become a better professional educator in 4 very important ways. The first way is just to help you understand what it means to, what valid, reliable, and fair assessments are and why they're so important in your practice. The next part of the course addresses the skills needed for you to be able to create really good assessments or evaluate the potential value of existing assessments. And the final part of the course addresses how to take data that you collect from assessments that you administer and how to use that information to help both you and your learners continue to accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish. So that's kind of the big picture of the class. But the reason why I'm sitting here in my kitchen is because I think the kitchen is the perfect place to help communicate to you why a class like this is so very important. And so let me explain. First of all, I've been an educator my whole adult life. I spent the first 10 years of my sort of profession teaching junior high school. I was a junior high school science teacher. So I taught for 10 years. I went back to school and I learned a lot more about designing good instructional experiences and then being able to implement them and evaluate them. And I ended up in higher education being someone who helps teachers, both pre-service teachers and in-service teachers, continue to get better at their practice. And one thing that I know about assessments is that, first of all, assessment in general is one of the most important tools that you have as a professional educator. It's one of the most, being able to evaluate or design effective assessments and being able to do something important with the data that you collect, that is essential at helping you do your job well. But assessments are also something that, in my opinion, are actually killing our profession. Absolutely killing it. And again, the reason why I'm in this kitchen is because I want to communicate to you why I think that's the case. So, let me just talk about that for just a moment, if you don't mind. I really enjoy cooking. It's one of my favorite things to do, to be honest with you. It's creative. It's kind of performance art because you create something and then it's a consumable. It disappears, hopefully disappears happily soon after you create what you want to create. I really enjoy reading really good cookbooks, and I enjoy looking at recipes. I enjoy trying to tailor them and also come up with my own creations. But I also really enjoy cooking because I really like hosting dinner parties. And hosting dinner parties, to me, is a really good analogy for what it means to be a teacher. And cooking is an analogy for designing the instructional experiences that are part of the dinner party experience. Because one thing that either you know now or you will soon learn is that as an educator, creating lessons is only part of the job. It's a really important part of the job. But what you're trying to do is define an overall culture of learning. And that is kind of like creating or hosting a dinner party, creating all aspects of the dinner party. The seating arrangements, what the menu's going to be, what music you might want to play, what things you might sort of plan in order to get conversations going or interesting conversations. All of that is part of the dinner party experience. But the cooking, of course, is one of the most essential aspects of that, because the meal is going to really define the overall kind of success of the dinner party, at least from my perspective. And so, again, I went into the teaching profession kind of primarily because I really, what resonated with me about teaching is helping people learn things that I think are really important to learn, and being able to create experiences to help them learn those things as effectively as possible. So it's the creative aspect of teaching that is part of all teaching experiences, but definitely the thing that I think was always and continues to be most important for me. So that's really important. And as I prepare foods and plan a dinner party, there are many, many ways in which I assess myself throughout the whole experience. I will look at, I'll plan a menu, I'll look at recipes, I'll maybe determine from who I know is coming to my dinner party whether or not certain dietary restrictions or other things need to be in play. And also I just think about who's going to be here and what they might enjoy, and I'll look at a recipe and I might adjust it in certain ways, or I might create my own things. And as I'm preparing my food and cooking the food, I continually taste. We call that formative evaluation. When you taste the food as you go along, make sure that it's sort of evolving and developing the way that you want it to. And then you implement, you serve your food, and and the dinner party goes on, and you continually sort of get feedback, formally or informally, from how the food is being received and how the whole event is going, how the interactions are going. If things get a little bit stale, I might introduce something that helps get the conversation going in an interesting direction. And then when it's all over, I sort of debrief with myself and my wife, Shelley. By the way, Shelley, that's my wife. I'm wearing her apron. I'm married to her. And she's great, by the way. She's also an educator. We're an education family. Anyway, that's a dinner party. But currently, in today's education climate, the reason why I think that assessment is actually killing our profession is kind of like this. Okay, imagine how different planning a dinner party would be if for some reason somebody told me that this is what I'm going to be serving. I'm serving mac and cheese. And the only thing that that is going to be done in order to judge my effectiveness as a dinner party planner and implementer is how well the mac and cheese was developed. And by the way, don't go off book. There are clear directions on how to prepare the mac and cheese, and it is my ability to adhere to these directions that is going to determine my success as a dinner party planner. So that's it. I was given the mac and cheese. I was given the directions. I have a table full of dinner party guests, but it doesn't necessarily matter who they are or what they really prefer. This is what we're serving. We're serving mac and cheese, and I'm going to be evaluated on how well I actually prepared the mac and cheese based on the directions given. And that's kind of like, in a lot of ways, what has been going on over the last 10 or 15 years in public education with standardized curriculum and high-stakes testing that put the emphasis on the evaluation of only one aspect of putting on a dinner party, or only one aspect of designing an effective, vibrant, creative learning experience. And the problem is, you could probably have a very good dinner party serving mac and cheese. I'm not going to lie. It's not the worst thing I've ever eaten. And in fact, in a pinch, you know, it serves a particular need, especially Kraft mac and cheese, not the generic stuff. But if that's the emphasis in the profession, is how well did you carry out the directions on the box of the mac and cheese, it takes the entire emphasis off of the dinner party, off of the experience, off of who's going to be around the table in the first place, and what kinds of things are going to come up in the conversation organically that may or may not help sort of drive what the general direction is of the overall experience, and how enjoyable and how satisfying that experience will be for everybody involved. And so in this class, you're going to learn the skills of how to create really good assessments, but those skills are going to serve you as you develop, create, and define the overall robust and important learning experiences that you are going to be defining for your students. And so with this, that's the end of my analogy. I'll be referring back to this throughout the course. But in order to continue, what I'd like you to do is go ahead and select the week 1 assignment overview from the menu at the top under weekly assignments. And that will help get you started on understanding the overall sort of structure of this website and how this online experience is going to transpire. So I look forward to working with you throughout the coming semester. And again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns throughout the semester, I'm the real person behind the course, and I have many avenues for contacting me, all located, again, up in the menu under the syllabus items. And so I look forward to this semester, and I will see you online.